Hey everyone, welcome to AI Labs. Let's just dive right in. So, this is Groq Labs, and let me just go ahead and show you the drawing to code feature. First, by clicking this button, you'll see a blank canvas. So, I'm just going to go ahead and draw something. I'll be drawing a to do list app. And you can also see that I made a progress bar at the bottom of the app. You can see that I have sketched out a basic framework. It's a bit rough at the moment, but if you're using a tablet, you can utilize a pen to refine your design and make it much more polished. And if you mess up during the process, like I did here, you can simply click the clear button to reset it and try again. Now let's go ahead and click on the done button. So let's give it a try. I have instructed the system to create a to-do list app with a progress bar that tracks completed tasks. Let's see what it generates. As you can see, it followed the structure I provided and successfully created the to-do list application. Now let's test it out to ensure everything works. The tasks are being successfully added, and now let's check the progress bar. Oh, great! It's working perfectly as well. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out and ensures you won't miss any of the cool tools and tips we've got coming your way. So, what you just saw is Groq's AppGen. So, AppGen is a tool on GitHub. It's publicly available that enables anyone to create, iterate, and remix JavaScript app with full app generation speed of mere hundreds of milliseconds. This is thanks to Groq's inferior speeds. Throughout the video, you will notice the amazing generation speed that it offers. While this is not a new tool, I saw this and thought that it was worth sharing. Currently, it uses the Llama 3.37 70 billion parameter model, which you can access on the web and locally, as this is an open source project. Essentially, it's a web app that can generate and modify web apps using Groq LLM API. It's built with Next.js and TypeScript and super easy to get started with. When you visit the website hosted online, you'll notice a gallery showcasing various pre-made projects that you can try on. For example, there's a solar system orbit simulator, which is an impressive model that accurately displays the orbital speed of the planets. It's a fun and creative demonstration that highlights how can you bring your ideas to life. What's great about this tool is that even if you don't know how to code, you can still create and experiment with your ideas. However, it's not designed for building large-scale projects. It's absolutely perfect for smaller, interesting creations that you might want to develop for personal use or exploration. Let's go ahead and suggest some edits here as well. You can see that we have this feedback bar at the top, which allows you to suggest edits or provide feedback. Additionally, you can use the voice mode, which is much more efficient tool if you prefer, in my opinion, honestly. There's also version control available, so if you feel like you're making mistakes and need to start fresh, you can simply create a new project. The first idea that comes to mind is to format the task into card layout to make them look much more visually appealing. Let's go ahead and implement that. I've given the system the prompt, so let's see what it does. All right, let's close this back and check. It did convert the task into cards, but they're overlapping slightly, I think. Let's see if it resolves the issue. Okay, it looks much better now. Next, let's add some animation to the progress bar to enhance its appearance. Let's check out the results. The animation has been added and it looks great, honestly. So finally, I think let's tweak the progress bar design a bit to make it even more visually appealing. There we have it. It looks much better now. Cool. As you know, this is an open source tool and you can run this locally on your own machine. But for the primary requirement is to have an API key from Groq. Additionally, there are few other prerequisites such as having Python installed, installing npm to manage the necessary packages, and also setting up a code editor if you plan to make further edits yourself. For the code editor, you can use VS Code, which is highly popular, but you might also want to explore options like Windsurf, Cursor. So yeah, because they're AI enabled. Now let's go ahead and walk through the process of installing it locally. This is GitHub repository for the tool. To start, you'll need to copy the repository link, and while the installation instructions are provided down here, let's go ahead and walk through the process step by step. First, copy the URL to your clipboard, then open your terminal, navigate to desired location in your computer where you want to clone the repository. Once you've cloned it, it may take a while, to complete. After that, navigate into the clone repository directory. Next, use the npm install command to install all the necessary packages and dependencies required for the tool to run locally on your machine. Once the dependencies are installed, launch the application by running the command npm run dev. This will start the app locally on your localhost URL. Simply copy the localhost URL provided in the terminal, paste it into your browser, and you will see that Groq Labs is now running on your computer with full functionality. Keep in mind, however, that to use the tool properly, you will need to have an API key from Groq. Without that, the tool won't function. I wanted to edit the to-do app a little bit more to test out this tool. So now I have some additional edits that will not only improve functionality but also make the interface much more appealing. Visually appealing. There are edits I generated using ChatGPT, and we are going to test whether Groq Labs can implement them correctly or not. I've given it the first task, so let's see how it performs. I'm asking you to add a delete button with each task so that it can implement the delete functionality as well. And you can see that it has correctly implemented the functionality. Next, I'll ask it to add a clear all button to remove all the tasks at the same time. You can see it has successfully added the button. Let's test it. And yes, the button works perfectly and performed the task as well expected. Now let's move on to the next task, which is more of a visual enhancement. Let's see how it goes with it. It's working well, and I can see that input field is being highlighted. Next, I'll add an animation effect to the task. However, it did not apply the animation as expected. I think there might have been a change in the prompt, but the output still works, so it's fine for now, I think. Now let's tell it to color code the completed and incomplete task. I'll add some tasks to check if it has applied the correct colors. The tool has color coded the task as gray, but there should be green for completed task. Let me fix that by giving it a new command and regenerate the code. Finally, let's add a counter for the task as well. It has generated the code, but it looks very, very simple and doesn't help that much. Let me just go ahead and suggest the change. It has applied the changes and now it looks much better. You can see that the progress percentage is being repeated, but it isn't a very big issue and can also be very easily resolved. All right, so to wrap this up, Groq Labs AppGen is honestly one of the most powerful tools that I've used for turning ideas into real working apps. The speed is just crazy, honestly. You can go from a rough sketch to a fully functional app in no time. Plus, whether you are fine tuning the design or adding feature, it's super easy to use. If you can grab an API key, setting it up locally is straightforward, but if not, a web app just works well for creating whatever you need. Definitely give it a try and see what you can build.